Douglas Bickford. It's the 5th of June, 2021. It's 7:01 a.m. here in Klamath Falls, Oregon, my hometown. Here's what you need to do, folks. Get connected with the creator of the universe. And you can get this inner void field even if you're an atheist. I just happen to believe a creator. I call him the Great Spirit. But to get that inner void field, you don't even have to believe in God, okay? And here's the simple concept from the book, The Portable Therapist, by a doctor of psychology. She knows what she's talking about, for it's not coming from Douglas Bickford. And it works. You will fill that inner void if you do the one simple concept out of this book. That taught me how to fill that void. And my void has been filled for about 5 or 6 months. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, and say it over and over and over again. Say it as much as you want. Say it throughout the day and never stop. And here's another very important part of it. Do not tell anybody. Just do it. And don't tell anybody you're doing it. Because people will think what they'll do is they'll say you're nuts, say you're crazy, and then you'll say, oh, this guy on the internet told me to do it. And then they're going to say, oh, he's the devil. That's what you do. And it will fill that inner void. And I believe God lives in us. Well, I know God lives in us. I don't believe it. I know it. Okay. Because of that one simple concept, I did it, started doing it. Because of this book, came from a doctor of psychology. She went to school between 8 and 10 years to get her degree. And she became a psychiatrist, a real marriage counselor, okay? Most marriage counselors don't even have degrees, okay? They're social workers. They don't know the brain, okay? So she knows the brain because she has it. Her doctorate is in psychology, okay? The brain is a very complicated thing. And the mirror, they call it mirror therapy. And mirror therapy, there's something about looking at yourself in the mirror. It's a phenomenon that happens when you look at, like I'm looking at myself right now, like I'm in a mirror because I'm looking at myself talk to you. Okay. And you cannot lie in the mirror. Okay. So the very first time you say it, you have to force yourself to do it. I did. Okay. I love Douglas Bickford. I love my inner child. Those are two things you can say in the mirror to yourself that will get you on the road to a healthy mind. Okay. So plus it'll connect you with God, okay? It'll connect you with goodness. Goodness and God are the same thing that lives in here. In order to recognize this goodness, this God that lives in you, you have to say that in the mirror to yourself. I love you. And because you cannot love and you cannot be loved without having, it gives you self-esteem, self-love. You cannot have a healthy relationship unless you love yourself first. And they've trained us that, through the TVs, radios, newspapers, all the media outlets, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them have trained us that just to jump right in and try to love somebody without loving yourself. And it doesn't work. I don't know why it is that way, but that's the way it is. So the population is running around trying to have a love relationship with somebody and they don't love themselves, so it doesn't work. But the one simple concept will give you that. But it will also connect you with the creator of the universe. But if you're an atheist, you can even get the same thing. It doesn't even matter if you believe in God. I'm telling you, man, and we've been duped by all the religions, every one of them. It doesn't matter which one it is: Mormon, Jehovah Witness, Seventh-day Adventist, Baptist, Catholic, uh, Muslim, Buddhist, because they're all trying to find happiness through external. And that happiness lives in you. You just have to recognize it by loving yourself, by attaining self-esteem. And that's the way it is. And it works, folks. And what happens, we were put here. We're here for one reason: to have social interest, which is to have relationships with other people. That's why we're here. And guess what? That saying I love you in the mirror will open that up for you, and you'll recognize it. And that's where God lives, is in you. Okay? So people mask the pain of not having that inner void filled with they try to make themselves happy, okay, with drugs, alcohol, sex, TV, uh, another person, material possessions. That's why people buy cars, and now they do it with cell phones, right? You get the newest cell phone every time one comes out, especially the iPhone. And then the Samsung always has a new one, right? Samsung 10 or whatever it is, the brand new one. Just like the iPhone, they keep coming out with new ones. And then, so you try to make yourself happy just with a cell phone. I mean, you can try to people try to make themselves happy with religion. It's a big one. And another one's television, okay? And all those are addictions, and they will get you, never make you happy. So you're stuck, okay, trying to make yourself happy by buying stuff, by acquiring more things, okay, to make yourself happy. And the way to do it is the one simple concept I just told you about. And nobody will tell you that concept. So like, share, and sub me, okay? Anyway, I am on YouTube teaching self-esteem, self-love, how to attain it, because I uh, have been married 4 times, and I went into a toxic relationship, my 4th marriage, with no self-esteem, and I didn't even know it. I had no idea I didn't have it. And I lived my whole life without it. And the reason I started off with no self-esteem, because self-esteem, we're not born with it. It has to be taught, okay, as you grow up. Okay? Loving parents nurturing the baby through their, up until, if they, nurturing parents love it and do all the things a loving parent would do for a baby. Well, give the baby self-esteem, okay? And then it'll go from there, if they keep loving. But anyway, so we're not giving it. I started off not with parents that never loved me. They never told me they loved me because they didn't know how to love. And it made it worse because my father sexually abused me, my one brother, and 4 other sisters. I'm the youngest of all of them. Okay. That's how I started life off. It led me to a life of loneliness, misery, till 65. Okay. Till about 6 months ago, when I got the book after I got out of a toxic relationship, November 2nd, 2020, because my wife was going to kill my cat along with her mother. Okay. Anyway, that's a long story, but I ended up at my son's house after I left everything. Took my van, 87 van, and Dodge van, and my 87 Prowler trailer. Hit the road with my 3 cats with nothing left at all in Idaho. Okay. and ended up at my son's house looking through a box for a coffee cup and found this book, The Portable Therapist, which I am teaching self-esteem out of. But the most important concept in this book is mirror therapy, by looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I love you. Now, this is the next chapter, which is chapter 69. Why can't I fall in love with the right person? And the link to get this book is in the description of every video I put up, down there below. Okay? Why can't I fall in love with the right person? Often in our relationships with others, we mirror what is going on in our relationships with ourselves. If we are not secure with ourselves, we will fall in love with those who do not love us. I've done it every time I've got married. We will not be attracted to those who do love us. We are attracted to what we think we deserve. If we think we deserve to be punished, even at the unconscious level, we will find someone who is destructive to us. Whatever we really feel about ourselves will tend to be reflected by our relationships. If we feel positive and good about ourselves, we will have relationships with people who feel good about themselves and about us. If we are negative, our relationships will reflect the negativity. We do indeed reap what we sow. Looking for the right person is a case in futility. There is no one right person except you with yourself. Statistically, there are thousands of people that you're compatible with. The secret to finding them is to be compatible with yourself. Then, and only then, will healthy others appear. Stop having expectations about what the other person will look like and do for you. Instead, focus on what you look like and what you are and what you will do for yourself. Stop looking. Enjoy your own company. Practice being okay without a relationship. It is never easier to learn self-esteem and to practice it than when you are alone. If you are used to taking care of yourself, to filling your own needs, then the challenge of being in a relationship will not be overwhelming. If you cannot take care of yourself when you're alone, it will be much more difficult to learn to take care of yourself when you're involved with someone else. Most of us become aware of learning about self-esteem after we are in a relationship. While it is less complicated to practice self-esteem on our own, we do not have to leave the relationship in order to learn to take care of ourselves. But we do have to reprioritize what we will do for ourselves and what we will give up for the relationship. This does not have to be a negative thing for our relationships. Taking care of ourselves can be a positive thing in our relationships. We become good role models for others. Loving yourself does not mean that everyone else will love you. Once you love yourself, it becomes easier to accept that others do not love you. Just as you yourself do not love everyone you know, others have the same right with you. Do not waste your time and energy on those who do not care about you. There are enough people around who care for you to focus on. And if you feel that there is no one else who loves you, then you owe it to yourself to care more for yourself. Relationships are about balance, not about rights and obligations. Relationships are about challenge and stimulation, not about comfort. Relationships are about expansion and growth, not about standing still or staying put. Rather, they are about allowing each other to change and letting go. The best relationships are those in which both people let each other be. We can love ourselves unconditionally, and we can practice trying to love our partner unconditionally. We may never achieve this goal, but we can learn from our efforts. If you want unconditional adoration, get a puppy. Your partner is not in the business of always adoring you. There was no one right partner for you, but there are plenty of good people around to have healthy relationships with. But first, you must be healthy yourself so that you are ready for a good relationship with another. Very powerful book, look, folks. And if you do the one simple concept I've been saying in these videos, it's going to connect you with the universe. You'll be one with the universe. And if you ever want to have a good relationship, a healthy one, you have to love yourself first. And that simple concept will help you attain that if you do it and you keep saying it. And get the book. You wouldn't even have to get the book, The Portable Therapist, because once you do that, you're going to be connected with God and He's going to direct you to what you need to do. Or you'll be connected to goodness if you don't believe in God. Okay? Douglas Bickford, I have more later for you. All have a great day out there.